Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podcast Juice. My name is Michael Dean, and this is the podcast of Prince. Joining me today is Mr. Ampu. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing good. A little bit of overcast, but I heard that the horses get frightened when the lightning sees and all that other good stuff. So not a bad day in LA.
Okay. I was wondering where you was going with that. Okay.
Kind of butchered that lyric, but I remembered it. Pulled it back in.
Well, man, what do I want to talk about today? So there's there's some new announcements. I see the big one here is that there is going to be a makeup line for Prince. This is with a company called Urban Decay. Now, listen, I am not a person who buys makeup or really knows too much about it. So I'm not sure. I don't know much about Urban Decay. I assume this is a company that's been around for a while. And they partnered up with the Prince Estate. And they've announced, it says it's a limited edition super rare capsule, which is a tribute to the creative genius of Prince. It's not much details of actually what is inside this or what they're actually selling. I think they're going to reveal that later. But it says they've, in collaboration with the Prince Estate, Randy St. Nichols, I'm saying her name right. She's done a lot of photography for Prince over the years. I think she has a great book out as well that came out a couple years ago at this point. Actually, she's had a couple of Prince books, one when he was alive and one after. I want to say Trevor Guy was also listed as being a part of this rollout, and Damaris Lewis, I'm saying her name right, and salute to that sister, beautiful sister. So all three of them are helping in some way, working with Urban Decay on this line. It's called Live Loud in Color, and yeah, it's a makeup line. I see both sides of some reactions to this online from, Prince fans. Of course, there's a lot of people, I think, that are very excited for this. Like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of people that use makeup. There's a lot of Prince fans. So this would be a great thing. Like, oh, wow, it's a Prince thing. I can't imagine, like, what is it going to be? Like, is it like eyeshadow or foundation or something? But that's interesting, I suppose. And then there's other people that I think are asking the question, and I see this come up from time to time when products come out in regards to Prince. It's like, well, what would Prince do? Is this the right thing to do, or would he be into this and that type of stuff? And before I sort of go into my thoughts on this, I wanted to what do you think of this announcement of the Live Loud in Color cosmetic line, I guess, or makeup for Prince? Are you going to be buying some of this?
Maybe for my wife and daughters, possibly. Maybe Mother's Day is coming up, graduations, whatnot. But I mean, for me, let me see. Prince, like he would say, he was always dressed to the nines. If he could take off about 10 years, you never know. I'm in a very competitive industry where the younger folks get the jobs now. So you never know. Let's see what they can do with this old messed up face. But just a little background.
I can see you with the purple eyeshadow, but go off.
I ain't doing the
I'm just joking.
You go. Hey, that might help. You never know. You never know. But they said that this is Urban Decay is headquartered in Newport Beach, California, and is a subsidiary of the French cosmetic company L'Oreal. So they got some big money behind it. Yep.
Interesting.
Apparently, Urban Decay is known for their Naked collection, which, yes, I'm aware of that. So it's going to be quality. So this people don't worry about right there. It's going to be a quality product. Now, whether you are 100% behind it or you believe and have faith in it, that's on you. I look at it as the family, in my opinion, have not been properly compensated for Prince's likeness and the estate and everything. So if this is something new that they can go ahead and use this to I guess take care of and provide for the family, because at the end of the day, regardless of how all of his real friends, and I'm talking about the Purple Army, may think about that family, at the end of the day, that is his family, and they have control of his estate and his likeness to an extent. And if everybody else is eating, why can't they?
Very good point. And that kind of leads me to my thing. Well, that's a question. I still wonder if the quote unquote family is off of that, but that could be another podcast. Here's my take on it. One, at this point in the game, I'm not mad at the move. It's not for me, and all things aren't for all peoples. So I'm not mad at, the Prince Estate doing another business deal. They are a business, at this point. Prince is not running his business. I would imagine the people who own the estate are not running the business, right? Prince's relatives or heirs, I would imagine they are not the ones at the table when they're having these meetings to decide what is the next moves for the estate, right? This is a bit, what we always say on here.
This is a business, and you ain't too far gone to see that yet.
And, you look at who's running this business is, being administered and ran probably by, was it Comerica? It was a bank. And, they're in this to make money. They're in control of these assets. And they're trying to make money. The narrative is that they're trying to pay down the tax bill. But I'm sure they're doing other things than that. There's a lot of people that I imagine that are, their jobs are based off of the revenue of the Prince Estate. And so they try to make sure that people can get paid and people can keep getting their, checks every other week or whatnot. And so they're running it as such. So it's almost like, is it a question of when people say, well, what would Prince do? I think that's almost irrelevant at this point. Prince ain't here. It's being ran by bankers. What would the bankers do? You dig? The bigger question is, what would the customers want? What do the consumers want? That's who they're trying to get to. They're not trying to get the Prince to buy this stuff. They're trying to get you to buy it. So I think to ask that question, I think it should be asked, what do the fans and what do there's different levels of fans, what are they willing to pay and what are they willing to buy? That's the question. Because if you wanted to go by what Prince would do, half of the stuff, probably the majority of the stuff that has been released since his death, we wouldn't have never got. If it was what you want, if you wanted to do that, right? Like, do you think Prince really would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna put out box set of Sign of Times? What did Kamala Harris say? No, or Alphabet Street. I don't know if he's saying no. No. They wouldn't have put that. They wouldn't have put that out. You probably wouldn't even have got that Purple Rain release. You wouldn't have got. Please, we wouldn't have got 1999. If you would have went with Prince, half of the stuff that, oh man, I can't wait. You wouldn't have had none of that. So let's not ask that question. I guess, you may be saying, well, is it in line with the spirit of Prince? Is it, what I mean? I guess you could think of something like that. And even that is kind of a reaching question because you can always sort of wrangle something into the spirit of Prince if you really was slick enough about how you worded it. But, at this point, it's a business, man, and they got to do what they going to do to make bread. They probably was like, yeah, makeup's a big thing. It's a big industry. Maybe they cut them a nice little check. And as I go ahead, use his likeness and, come up with something and sell that. No different than some of the other stuff that, they had Prince Funko toys, whatever. And I have a couple. You think Prince would have had that? No, I'm not. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure he'd be like, no. But again, it ain't about what. At this point, it's not about what Prince would have. He ain't here, and it ain't being ran by his family. So, if you're not mad about his business being controlled by banks, then don't be mad about the moves they make. That's just my personal take on it, because a bank is going to do what a bank do, and a bank is there to handle money. That's it. And they got people who advise them, and they got people that they can trust. They feel like they trust, has their interest, and can go out there and they say, yo, go out there and get these deals. You're going to get a cut of the deal. Go out there and find things that kind of make sense with this product that we're slinging. Because to me, that's what they do. It's a product. Now for me as a Prince fan, hardcore fan, like I said, I'm not going to buy this, but I'm not mad at it. I understand what it is. I'm here. I want the music and like videos and things of that nature, but I know that it's just not going to exist purely off of that, because there's only a small amount of us that are buying this music. There was a small amount of us buying the music when he was here. Go look up those sales of those last few albums when he was alive. Y'all wasn't buying that like that. Stop playing. So
stop capping.
Yeah,
stop capping.
Yeah, stop all. Well, I wasn't. No, you wasn't. Stop. You was the one that was online saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be putting this out. This ain't his good best stuff." So it is what it is, man. It's I say good. If it keeps his name out there and it doesn't seem disrespectful, it's all good. I'm kind of like when our parents used to say, "Oh, that's just something for them kids. Go on, let them kids have their fun." That's how I look at it. Like, man, that's something for the kids, man. Go on, let them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and put Prince's name on it. Get a couple of people who work for him and put their name on it. If that's gonna make it sell a little bit, cool. I just hope that the money that comes from this at some point trickles down to the people who actually own the estate, and not just the people who work there and are the buffers between the people who own it and the people who are going out there getting the deal. So, all the bankers and all the people that they employ, salute to them. That's their job, but they don't own it. And, I'm speaking for me. I know that the ownership is some black folks. It's essentially a black business not operated by black people. But that's another story. But I'm just saying, hopefully at some point, again, the narrative is that they're trying to work down the tax bill. So I hope that these actions can help pay that bill so that they can relinquish control to the owners. So if this helps them do that, I'm all for it. Your question would be if that actually happens. We'll see. But that's the intent. At least that's how I choose to look at it. Whether that's the reality or not, I'm not sitting at them tables. I have no idea. I'm an outsider fan, just giving a commentary of my opinion. But, salute to Prince. My thing is, I also feel like this too. When I'm buying these products, I don't feel like I'm buying this and I'm giving my money to Prince. Like, obviously I'm not. I'm giving my money to the people who created this product. They just may happen to be a product that I like because it's from a dude that I like his work. I like his artwork. And they just happen to be the ones in control to put his artwork into the marketplace. But the, consumers are going to dictate whether or not they want to support this or not. Buy if they buy it. So I will say, man, Kim Berry, you better go on and get your products out there. Shoot.
Can't be mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing his hair all these years. I assume he was doing his own makeup, but if anybody's gonna be getting the bag, she might better go ahead and get hers too. Let's support the sister. Go ahead and put her product. And I always said too, if they're gonna do products, man, could do like a hair product. I said this before, but we had pink moisturizer oil back in the day. They could go ahead and do a deal with Luster's, man, and just do that purple moisturizer oil. And you know what they could like? What they could do, like, see, if I was up there, man, I'd be like, listen, we could take pussy control. But I would take, listen, follow me, man. Follow me.
Okay. I gotta see where this is going. I don't know if I want to follow you.
But I would have the product called Edge Control. So, Edge's Control. You know what I'm saying? You put that purple oil on your edge and your struggle edges and lay it down. And man, you could have your finger waves like Christopher Tracy and have Edge's Control. That's
Lord have mercy.
Man, okay. I'm telling you, man. That'd be on BET all day, man. TV One.
Wow.
For the culture, nigga. Edge's Control. That would be the cold one. And then they could release a 7-inch vinyl release on Latin.
Okay, I'm still trying to understand how has there not been any colognes or perfumes? Can you imagine going to the Macy's and picking up a bottle of Do Me Baby? Come on, man.
Well, I mean, they had some when he was alive.
Oh.
Yeah, 3121. There was a couple of them. Yeah, Get Wild.
Okay, well, bring it back.
I agree. They should definitely, you could definitely have some, that's an interesting colognes. Yeah.
Purple Rain vodka. Come on now.
Hilarious.
Or the Purple Rain mix. Just mix in like rum or one of those. Come on. Down in Jamaica, they do have a Purple Rain drink.
Okay. Did I ever tell you, this was a couple years ago. I'm trying to remember whose event this was. I think it was Rodney Fitzgerald. Shout out to Rodney. And he had a party. I think it was during Celebration Week or something. And they had like custom drinks. Nigga, do you know they had a menu and they had the podcast juice drink on there? I'm dead ass serious.
You remember what was in it?
I don't. I do not. I wish I had a picture of that. But I was like, oh, you a fool for this. Yeah,
respect on that.
Podcast juice? Shoot. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, man, I mean, let the estate do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And if and everybody has the right to like it or dislike it too. I'm not mad at people who are like, nah, I'm not feeling that. They have the right to say that. You just don't have to buy it.
It is.
That's the main thing. But again, with social media, that opens the door for everyone to have a voice. So you just have a right. You have a right to post that you like it, and you also have the right to post, I'm good. I don't think that's right. It is what it is. But I would hate to, get to a point where things like Paisley Park aren't open anymore. And it's not to say that, the sales of this makeup or something is going to keep that alive. But I'm just saying, like, they have to do things to generate some money, because I would imagine, times is tough, man. The COVID changed everything, shut a lot of things down. And when Prince was alive, man, he could just like, man, I'm going to go here and do a quick tour and get this bag and get my money up. But yeah, man. So I say all that to say, yeah, I would hate to get to a point where things like Paisley Park are not open. So on some level, you want to see these products be successful. I guess my only thing is I hope they have like some bigger announcements to come. The little limited edition products and things of that nature. That's cool. I wonder, does that reach outside of the hardcore Prince fan base? But again, I have no idea about makeup. That's not my world. So this could be a big thing, Any final thoughts on the makeup line?
Yeah, I think this is a smart move. I think It's very authentic and on brand with Prince because we all know the dude always was coming out looking as fly as he can be. And I think he appeals to women. So this is like a natural, in my opinion, a natural synergy that could work. And I'll probably pick it up either for collector's sake or as a gift. So a win all the way around.
All right. That's what's up. Man, they need to go ahead and get them Prince suits popping. How about that?
Yeah, that ain't going to work for me. I think I might not be the right size for that.
Oh, I mean, you know. I think the idea would be cool, you know what I'm saying? Some tailored suits, you know. I could see that being fly. I don't know if cats wearing suits like that no more, but
I mean, come on now. I mean, if it's gonna be suits, it's got to be the iconic stuff, like the polka dot stuff. And I don't know about the musicology. Yeah, musicology, you got to be a fly dude for that one.
well, as I'm saying, all of them you're gonna be fly. I mean, you got to have a certain attitude and game about yourself to put them on. You know, what do you say? Putting on something that another won't dare. But yeah, man, like you have some cold little suits. Like if you're, you know how they have those. What's that place where you get the church suits at and the player suits?
Oh, I think I'm Men's Warehouse, or there was another one.
There's another, maybe I'm thinking more of a regional place.
Suit outlet, or there's some, but I can't think of.
Like a TG or what? K&G? Is that what I'm?
I don't know.
It might be more of a Northwest thing. But it's a place where you get your super, you know, the suits that belong, you know what I'm saying? The black church suits. Or they got the pimp suits where they be the red ones and the yellows, and, you know, bright colors, the top hat. Man, you can have the yellow suit, the parade suit, you know what I'm saying? And, you have the polka dot joint, all kind of classic. Again, you only be a certain type of man that would be able to pull that off. But, you know, it's a certain type of man to be wearing the pimp suits in the church. So,
it's true.
So it's a reality, you know. Shoot, show up at the bar mitzvah, you know what I'm saying, with your musicology suit with one side lower than the other.
That's the one. I said you got to be a fly, motherfucker,
or just don't give a damn. You know, be like, yeah, okay, what's happening? You know, what time at church start? You know what I'm saying?
Pastor, we ain't got all day. I got to run that track in a minute.
You know, Sister Jenkins, how you doing?
I can see the hour.
Yeah,
you church say hour.
You looking good over there. You've been eating them ham hocks now. I see. Yeah. Anyway, there's an update. So we have been talking about the color version of Under the Cherry Moon. You know, I'm pushing for that. I don't know nobody else may be, but I would love to see it. Like at some point, it just seemed like that'd be a no-brainer release from Warner Brothers. Even if it was just, even if they did it like on HBO Max or something, like we're going to put it on streaming. You know, if they didn't feel like there was enough of a demand to, you know, get discs made of it or something. But I just think that would be a big thing. Like if you can have a makeup line, then you can put out one of his movies. Like the color version of Under the Cherry. Now some people, he didn't want it in color, Michael, you know, talking about. Listen,
he ain't here.
You ain't got to watch it, man. I'm not saying that they would, you know, take the black and white version out of circulation. That's still there. But to offer the color version, and that would be I could see that being a big deal. Like, that'd be cool, man. But why I brought this up, so I told you I'm currently reading Dwayne Tudor's book, Prince in the Parade and Sign the Times Era Studio Sessions. And I came across something last night I was reading, and I thought it was very interesting. It was talking about, well, throughout the book, at certain points, you know, he's making the movie and then going back and working on the movie. And I don't want to spoil a lot of this, but one part I thought was very interesting in the book. So there's a part in the book where they're talking about they're getting close to the release date of the movie, and Warner Brothers is nervous about the movie. And it says here, you know, it says they're concerned that people will see this as an art film and not a blockbuster movie which, I think their expectations was based off of Purple Rain. And this is a person named Rebecca Ross, and it says she was the editor, I guess, of the film. And I'm just going to read a little bit about this. I don't want to like directly quote out of this book, but it says here that basically it says Warner Brothers took the black and white print and then, what is this? Well, basically, they said they took a color negative and then they had a Warner Brothers assistant editor assemble a movie, a color version of the movie. And then there's Rebecca Ross and Prince watched it. They saw it. And this person says, Prince said, he's quoted as saying, destroy it. Make sure everything is destroyed. She says he was miserable and unhappy with the color version. And then she goes on to sort of explain, like, they shot this for black and white and they used particular filters. And she was saying it would make it look awful as a color version. And she goes into talk about the cinematographer and the techniques he used. But then she also says at the end of this, she says, so somewhere there is a color negative of the movie. I don't know where because they wouldn't have destroyed it. But yes, somewhere in a studio vault, it exists. So I'm saying we need to see that, man. And I know Prince wouldn't have wanted that crowd. I get it. And you're probably right. But don't let me find out that you got that Sign of the Times box set or that 1999 box set or that special edition Purple Rain in your collection, because Prince wouldn't have wanted that either. So I'm not dealing with that. We're beyond that. I just think that at some point in time, I bet you we will see that color version. It could be another 10 years from now. Who knows? But I would not be surprised if that is released in some capacity. I think there's a lot of value to that, to see a color version of the movie and to compare them and to have both of them. And for those who don't think it's right, what's great about it is no one is forcing you to hit play on your remote control. So you can ignore it. But yeah, man, I just thought that was very interesting. I'm like, there's a little bit of hope if you believe what's in the book there. But yeah, man, would you want to see a color Cherry Moon version, Ant?
Of course. I mean, again, it gives a new take on the film, and it's just something that, refreshes people's mind about the film. So I'm all for it. And on top of that, it might, make you appreciate the film as a whole now, because you get to see all of the beautiful landscapes. And I think that was Nice, right? Mm-hmm. And not to mention, a lot of the costume and the design. So I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, man, that's all that I really had on some Prince stuff today. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please check us out on Patreon. I will put a link to that in a pinned comment if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'll have the link in the show notes. But with that said, Ampu, where can they find you online, sir?
Find me at Twitter and Instagram at Ampu, and also on Clubhouse most Sundays with the Prince 365 crew. All
right. Shout out to Rodney once again in the building.
And Violet Brown.
Shout out to Violet. Yes.
Yeah.
Violet. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, you can certainly check us out here at podcastjuice.net, and then just look us up on your favorite podcasting platform, whether that's Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. Just look up the Prince Podcast. You can also look up Podcast Juice and find us there as well. And of course, we are here on YouTube at Prince Podcast. So there you go. My name is Michael Dane. Work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Oh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, I'll be happy all the time. When I first met you, you were nervous and shy. A power about you, you look me in the eye. Girl, you be a problem. understand. I know you're not lonely. Matter of fact, where is your man? Ooh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, be happy all the time. Looking for another way to see your face. Jump on a plane now, hurry up, no time to waste, cause ooh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, I'll be happy all the time. Meet you at the airport, 4-hour flight, straight to baggage claim. Coolly smile, larger than life, cause that's my baby, I'm carrying the flame. Oh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, I'll be happy all the time. Oh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, happy all the time. Oh, pretty baby, soulmates and you, love everlasting, cause you're my girl. Oh, always on my mind. Oh, yeah, love you all the time. Oh, pretty baby, always on my mind. Waking up to you, girl, be happy all the
Seeing someone for the first time, like you could be passing on the street and you look at each other and for a few seconds there's this kind of a recognition. Like you both know something. The next moment the person's gone. And it's too late to do anything about it. And you always remember it because it was there and you let it go and you think to yourself, what if I had stopped? What if I had said something? What if? What if? It may only happen a few times in your life.